Well, is it or isn't it a recession, of course? That's all folks are talking about as real or inflation-adjusted GDP declined for a second straight quarter. There is a widespread rumor that's been around for decades that 2 straight quarters of declining real GDP equals a recession. But as we've said many times, that is not officially a recession. The official arbiters of recessions are the National Bureau of Economic Research, or NBER. Take 2001, for example. That official recession did not include 2 consecutive quarters of declining GDP. And from the peak of December 2007 through the trough of June 2009, real GDP declined in the first, third, and fourth quarters of 2008 and the first and second quarters of 2009. Why doesn't the NBER use the 2-quarter definition? Well, first, they don't identify recession solely based off real GDP, instead using a range of factors. Second, they consider the depth of decline in economic activity. The words significant decline are included in their definition. So if we had 2 quarters in a row with minus 0.1% declines, that would technically satisfy the 2-quarter definition, but would be a very shallow, almost negligible decline. The third reason is the NBER determines recessions on a monthly basis, not quarterly. So they can't use this 2-quarter definition as the data isn't frequent enough. That said, how is there such a raging debate going on about is it or isn't it a recession? If you're on team recession, you're looking at GDP, inflation rates, and historically awful consumer sentiment. If you're on team slowing but no recession, you're looking at the strong job market, personal income, travel, and other services. Something for everyone. But actually, the NBER determines the start of a recession from the peak in economic activity to the trough or the bottom in economic activity. So I think everyone agrees that there's some degree of slowing in the economy. The question is, how long will it last and how deep will it go? If it goes much deeper and spreads to many different areas of the economy, the NBER will likely declare a recession at some point, which will start at the peak in economic activity around the beginning of the year. Hence the argument for currently being in a recession. However, if we just get a minor slowdown that's contained to only a few sectors of the economy and doesn't cause widespread unemployment, the NBER is unlikely to declare a recession, in which case we would currently not be in a recession. So this raging debate of is it or isn't it is speculation about whether future economic activity gets much worse from here, and that requires a crystal ball. But I would argue there's a more important point to all this that's not being talked about. There's a guy named Seth Godin. He's a best-selling author and sort of a business and marketing expert personality. Back in 2008, he wrote a book called Tribes. Hard to believe it now, but that was just 1 year after the first iPhone launched. Facebook was just getting started, and the dominant social media apps we know today were either barely off the ground or hadn't even launched yet. Fast forward 10 or 15 years, and now we understand how profitable it's become to herd people into tribes. But not just any tribes, competing tribes. It's not just individuals creating tribes for themselves anymore. It's the media and social media networks putting tribalism on steroids. The algorithms are brilliant at stoking the coals and stirring us up so folks turn against each other. So as the debate rages on over the next few weeks, just be mindful that the media does profit more when we're on alert and rallying for our tribe. For today, we'll wrap with a reminder that the economy is not the stock market. Taking a look at the 12 recessions since 1949, we can see that on average, the stock market bottoms about 4 months before the official end of the recession, when doom and gloom is all we hear about. That's just the way it works. Thank you to everyone who participated in our survey last week. We got some great feedback and look forward to incorporating your responses in future videos. Have a great week.